Hello again, humankind. It's time for some more second level revelations. This time, of higher level spiritual truth, is addressing another question that easily qualifies as a frequently asked concerning thought about God and spiritual matters. In fact, this spiritual fact is one of the most commonly asked questions among humans throughout the world. Fact number 3, why do bad things happen to good people? Ready? The answer to why bad things happen to good people is because you have free will. Allow me to explain what I mean. Now, honestly, the reality of reality is that none of us are good, at least not all of the time anyways. That being said, it is equally true that not all of us are horribly evil. Very few of us are, in fact. And frankly, yes, it really sucks and is all the way around not cool or okay at all when horribly evil or bad things happen to not so horrible humans. Since I've already clarified that none of us are actually good all of the time, let's just say that for the rest of what I'm talking about here, the words good people is going to stand for not so horrible humans. Makes it easier. Unfortunately, our reality is that sometimes bad things do happen to good people. And the reason why brings us back to the beginning of this explained answer. Because you have free will. And because I have free will. And because he has free will, and because she has free will, etc. Basically, bad things happen to good people because free will for one is free will for all. Unfortunately, too often, too many humans are not responsible with their use of free will. In case you're wondering, being responsible with the use of free will means using it to choose whatever is good and right at any given point in time in one's life. Makes sense to me. I mean, if people didn't make bad choices, then bad things wouldn't happen, right? Once again, humankind, let us think like intelligent adults in an advanced society, or we should not claim that that's what we are. The choices that each one of us makes in our everyday lives affects the existences of everyone on earth that we interact with. And of course, their choices will always affect the existences of everyone they interact with, and so on and such forth, to include everyone on earth. And since we are all here on earth together, the effects of us affecting each other's existences don't just happen. They go out and around, like a ripple shockwave. Sometimes the effects are big, and sometimes the effects are small. Regardless, it is unavoidable. Pay good attention to the way things are, humankind. We exist in the ripple shockwave zone. See, this place that we call our world is actually your world and my world and his world and her world and their worlds, etc., etc. Basically, it's exactly like the chaos theory explains. For those who don't know, the chaos theory says that the beating of a butterfly's wings on one side of the world can cause a typhoon on the other side of the world. Now, as far as that exact statement says, I can't say for sure. However, that basic idea of such a small action traveling and growing is exactly what I'm referring to when I say ripple shockwave. Except multiply that by about 7 billion, and you can start to get an idea of how we impact each other's existences as we live out our lives here on Earth. Now, the next logical question, of course, to ask about why bad things happen to good people is to wonder if we are entirely powerless to stop this tragic inevitability from happening. And the answer, of course, is that we are never entirely powerless. Allow me to explain what I mean again. Yes, it is a fact that free will for one is free will for all. And when humans are not responsible with their use of free will to choose the ways of good and right, to choose the good and right choices over the selfish wants, aka the bad and wrong choices, then yes, it is also a fact that our incorrect choices will always, in some way, have some sort of bad effect on some human somewhere at some point in time, even if that human had entirely no part in whatever led to us choosing to use our free will irresponsibly. And just like all of that is true fact, it is also true fact that the more often that we each choose the ways of good and right, regardless of our personal opinions or benefits, then the less often bad things will happen to good people, because there will be less bad shockwaves out rippling around. This is not saying that we can ever entirely stop this wrongness from happening, because there will always be someone, somewhere, who at some point and some time, for some reason, will choose wrongly and irresponsibly, being utterly selfish and inconsiderate. Just do your part to not be that someone as much as possible, and you will be doing your part to help all of humankind as much as any of us can. We should all do what we can to stop bad things from happening to good people. To do otherwise, to disregard the responsible use of free will, is very much an evil thing. For more on that, watch my next video, fact number 4, what is evil?